Have you noticed that there's been a trend of
Hmm.
increased toxicity over the years since you've been not with Instagram? What since like
For over 3 years now,
okay,
pretty
yeah,
much. Yeah. Well, yes. Back when I started in 2018, there weren't. That's what made me love this plant community because everybody is just so encouraging. And what mean could root from loving plants, you know?
right, right.
But through the years, especially going through last year, people were kind of crazy because of COVID and everything. It made us a little bit of crazy in our own ways. And I feel like now, because people are triggered or they feel more entitled to their emotions, be it positive or negative, they don't hold back in putting it out there. And I'm really trying my best
Like
not
what did they say? Like
like
you show pretty plant decor pictures. Like what did
well, someone commented who doesn't even follow me or hasn't probably even seen my other content. And that's the thing. People who don't follow you, and this is again a very cliche thing, but people who don't know you have the most to say just by one picture, one content that you put out there. So it was a picture of some trailing plans that I was, setting up because people always wondered like, how do you get to that part or how did you make that? And then that person commented like, "Oh, it looks so pretty. I bet you just bought it like last week." And I'm like,
oh
"No.
right, right.
If you've been following me since 2018, this string of hearts wall has been here
I
for a while."
yeah, you get a lot more comments than I do. I mean, I get like comments good and bad on my
Mm,
YouTube, and you can have 10, 20, 30 good comments, and then you
mm.
have one comment that's like something like that, and it just brings your energy just like,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean, especially when I read that, I was about to go to sleep. I was just like scanning through my messages, and then I saw this notification. Like, so it really kind of triggered me, and
right,
I'm like, what? But of course, knowing that, oh, this person doesn't follow me, and then my thing was I clapped back, and I'm like, well, you obviously don't follow me, and you obviously don't know, and like this has been here for a while, and then they apologized, saying that they're just jealous because they couldn't keep their plants
right,
happy and that they didn't know what they were doing.
right,
And I'm like, okay, yeah, that explains it. But I scolded them and said
right.
that, be careful with what you put out there. I would,
There's not a need for it,
yeah,
right?
like
Like,
if you're jealous, then keep it to yourself. Maybe empower yourself by maybe reading the caption, the tips that goes through in that post, because that will really empower, and you're gonna turn around the negative situation and turn it into something positive because you'll eventually learn something out of it. So I didn't hold back, scolded that person, told him that not to put out any negativity on my page because I will not tolerate that.
right,
I don't like when people fight back. I mean, I don't mind you tagging your friends like, oh my god, this is such an unrealistic picture. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. You can put it out there, but as a content creator, we can see your comments,
right,
just so you know. There is a share button that directs to your friends' messages so that you could talk in private and you don't need to put that out there for the world to see.
right,
You
right,
know?
right. So many more people got into plants during the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic. Do you feel like there's just like a ton more Instagram people
Mm-hmm.
now?
Mm-hmm.
Is that good or bad?
Well, I think it's good because when the plant community was really small and close knit, like we did enjoy our perks of knowing everyone.
Yeah,
Like, oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god, this person is not so good with this plant, this type of growing method, this substrate. Like we kind of know everyone. And then when
Right,
COVID hit, it brought more attention to the plant hobby, which is good. Making it mainstream means making it more available for people,
yeah,
and type of content wise, it brings new ideas. Like people, sorry, can come up with like funnier skits now,
right,
different point of views, different perspectives, and I do enjoy that a lot. Like it brought a lot of contributors to the hobby, but with that positive aspect came with some negative aspects as well that I hope will not overpower the community. Like people who are just new to the hobby could, you know, just like anyone else, could have all these negative traits that they're gonna bring into the community.
right, right.
Like examples are the plant poaching, worsened, like the prices of plants on social media. I guess just the general social media etiquette, even in the plant community, has been affected. And I am sad about it, but I guess it really comes with whichever community grows and gets this new attention from the normal world.
Yeah. I wonder if during quarantine the community grew too fast.
Yeah, I feel like it grew too fast, and then compared to everyone else, because we have to respect the others that came before us. You know, these plant collectors that have been doing it since the 70s, 80s, or even 60s and 50s, if they're still with us. It kind of like progressed slowly but surely. But with COVID and everything just skyrocketed in
Right.
like a month or two.
Yeah, maybe people are lacking that genuine connection, the inclusivity, like that part that you belong to a niche group. Because, if you're talking about the plant community before COVID, like you said, everyone knew everyone, right? Like these were your friends, your buddies. Like the way you talk to your buddy is not the same way you can be mean to someone that you feel very unattached to, like it's like strangers with. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why some of the bad vibes are popping up more now.
For those that have been in the hobby for a while now, it will kind of test your passion, really. If you've been through this through the years, like, who are still the people who still love plants right now after all the likes, the follows, the engagements, and maybe the benefits and compensation that you get? After all of that is gone, who would still be here to continue their passion? Like, who are really genuinely passionate about this love for plants and not just like a seasonal thing,
Right.
where, okay, oh my god, plants are trendy now, let me jump into it, earn some coins, and then leave.
Yeah, yeah.
But through time, like your collectors from the 60s, 70s, 80s, they withstood all that fluctuation.
Right.
So that kind of filtered really the people that are still in the hobby. And I've seen some of my friends like fall in and out of the hobby because a lot of things changed through the 3-4 years that I've been in the community already.
Right. Do you feel that there's been an increased emphasis on the money and the finances over the last year or two, and less on plants?
Plant and finances wise, sometimes now your ability to purchase plants is definitely based on your buying power. And then sometimes it motivates others to get into the hobby because of the potential of cashing into the people who are passionate about this.
Cashing in, right.
I don't know if that's the accurate term, or that's probably so encompassing and so overgeneralizing, but that's the truth. It's not all, but there are people who are just into this hobby because it's a quick cash grab.
Yeah, and it is probably going to be a cash grab for probably a couple years. It's a wave.
I think it's unavoidable. Every community deals with this.
Right.
I mean,
right.
The beauty community deals with like celebrities who just develop their own makeup and then suddenly forget about it. So I've seen this come and go in every part of community that you belong in, and unfortunately the plant community is not accepted from that.
Yeah.